I used to have to explain to my soldiers that through their failure, they can learn things, and through failure gains experience. It took a long time for them to realize that just because they failed doesn't mean that they are a failure. It just meant that they have room for growth and they have room to progress in what it is they do in their profession. If you put a tire on wrong, don't know how you can do that, but still, if you put a tire on wrong, you know next time how to put it on correctly. If you zero out a radio, which means you take all the frequencies out of it, and you weren't supposed to because you were only supposed to upload a frequency, then you know next time, don't do that, because not only does that cost you a lot of time, that costs other people time. I have learned in my job that I'm doing now, if I don't do the numbers right the first time, then I have to spend another 20 minutes doing that and fix it, and then that takes me another 20 minutes to get out of there, and that takes me an hour to get home. What did I learn, folks? I learned that do the numbers right the first time and I'll get home on time. Through my failure, I gain experience and I learn. If I don't fail, then I'm just awesome and perfect and there's no room for growth in the first place. Does that make sense for you? If it does, hit that like button so we can pass that on to somebody who needs it. I also failed a lot in my drinking history. I failed to recognize the signs of a relapse, what could trigger a relapse. I failed to realize some of the roadblocks that I would face by thinking I could do it all on my own. And through those failures, I gained experience to where I can be sober today. 5 years, folks. It's not an accident. It took a lot of failure for me to get here. And you know, I took that as an ego crush when it all started. And sometimes I found it too as, well, I already failed that. I might as well drink more. And if I failed at my occupation, I did the same thing. That was my fallback, folks. And a lot of you out there can relate to that, because a lot of you are in the same situation too. When you fail at something, our number one solution is to go back to that drink or drug. And that's our problem in the first place, because we're sick. Our disease of alcoholism and addiction will always bring us to that point where if we fail, then we go back to what we know in order to fix it or erase it. And by erase it, I mean numb your brain so you don't think about it. But the problem with that is, folks, if we don't learn through our failures and be able to navigate those problems when we get to them the next time, the same thing is going to result. And, you know, that is kind of the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. That hamster wheel will keep on spinning if we, the alcoholic or addict, are not able to recognize when certain things are leading us back to the potential relapse or to a slip, or however you want to phrase it, folks. We're not perfect people, man, and failure is something that comes with life. And for our egos, for my ego anyway, if I'm not able to accept that, then I'm not able to deal with it as it is. Failure is simple. We're going to fail over and over and over and over and over. And if you ask any inventor, they failed 100 times to get it right the one time. And that's what I'm talking about, folks, is we have to be able to accept our failures and to grow from them and to move on and not dwell on them as a loss. Sometimes you may have a loss, but that's okay too. But to not dwell on them as a loss and to dwell on them as an opportunity for growth in the future, for experience, for learning. And that's where the human experience takes us anyway. Nobody made fire on purpose. Fire was made by accident. We will fail 100 times or more. And for me, it's many, many more. And I have learned from each failure that I've had. When I was drinking, folks, when I was in my drinking history, in my drunken haze, I didn't learn a damn thing. And I kept doing the same thing over and over and over. And that's really what I'm talking about here, is that if we learn through our failure, then we are able to grow, adapt, and overcome, and be able to do different things in the future when we come across the same problems. Makes sense for you? Makes sense for me. Today's daily reflection for 25 February 2021, the challenge of failure. Let's go. In God's economy, nothing is wasted. Through failure, we learn a lesson of humility which is probably needed, painful though it is. As Bill sees it, page 31. How thankful I am today to know that all my past failures were necessary for me to be where I am now. Through much pain came experience, and in suffering, I became obedient. When I sought God as I understand Him, He shared His treasured gifts. Through experience and obedience, growth started, followed by gratitude. Yes, then came peace of mind, living in and sharing sobriety. That's it in a nutshell, folks. If you made it this far into the video, let me know what you think about today's daily reflection down in the comments below, because I already shared with you what I think about it. If you get anything from these videos, hit that like button to keep these videos in circulation, and hell, take a chance, subscribe, hit that notification bell right there, so that way this channel grows and we grow stronger and we recover together. Life's a garden. Dig it, folks. I'm Wayne. I'm still an alcoholic. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye-bye.